Hi, Dr. Tony Harrison with Incredible Health again. We are so excited that you're going to be joining us in the upcoming webinar. But before that, I wanted to give you this video. It's kind of some bonus content. I know in the title we talked about boring bedrooms, and I don't feel like I went into that in enough detail. So I wanted to offer this video on sexual wellness. Before I dive into that, if you have little ones around you or people that this topic would not be appropriate for, um, then this is not the time to watch that video. So please make sure that um, the people that are exposed to this video are able to hear this content, that it's appropriate. Every area of your health impacts your sexual health. If it feels good to live in your body, you have energy, you generally like your body shape, you feel healthy, you have a joy in living, a gratitude for your daily experience. Well, all of that translates into your sexual life also. So a lot of the things that I talk about in the webinar do inadvertently impact people's sexual wellness. But I did want to offer some more specifics. There's a difference between how the genders approach their sexual life and stress. So for women, so many times in our minds, we're creating that to-do list, all the household chores that need to get done. And wherever a woman's attention is at, that's where she will be during her sexual activities. So too many times women will be in the middle of sexual activities and they're creating the grocery shopping list or putting together all the items that need to get done tomorrow, that type of thing. You know, who's got a clean PE uniform and whatever is going on in your household. So a lot of times people have heard it said that the sexiest thing a man can do is to do a load of dishes or a load of laundry. Well, that's how and why that's seen as a sexy activity. Because if a woman can't get through that to-do list, then she's not going to be able to be mentally present during sexual activity, and that impacts the intimacy and the relationship health. So for women, sex can be a stress increasing activity because it can become another thing on her to-do list. Unfortunately, it can become kind of another chore. And not that I mean that in the general relationship situation, but for a particular day, that particular time, that's the way it might feel to her. Whereas for a man, sex can be a stress relieving activity. So two totally different experiences. For her, it's a stress increasing activity, and for him, it's a stress decreasing activity. So a lot of times that's where the conflict can come in the relationship. One of the things that kind of drives me crazy is when people say something to the effect, well, as I'm getting older, of course I'm slowing down, or I can be expected to slow down, or, you know, now that I'm 40 or 50 or 60, whatever, I can't expect to have a as good a sex life as I had in my 20s, or, you know, it usually boils down to that kind of ideology. Because I'm getting older, I should accept that I'm going to suffer. And that just grates against me. I've had 30-year-olds come into the clinic who feel like their sexual life is diminishing. 40-year-olds, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever age you're at, if you're an adult, I feel like you deserve to have the sexual life that you desire. Notice I said if you're an adult. I have teenagers in my home, so I said if you're an adult. But as we age, all of our hormones diminish, men and women. In order to have a healthy sex life, we have to have our sex hormones. We also need thyroid and cortisol. I'm going to talk on cortisol a little bit. If you think thyroid is an issue, have your physician check that. Men and women, as we age, we lose all of our sex hormones, which impacts your ability to just have joy in life, just to be able to enjoy life. Uh, when men lose their testosterone, they kind of turn into Archie Bunker. They get irritable, they get grouchy, they, fall asleep on the sofa in the early evening. They get that Buddha belly, So it's hard to be grouchy and irritable and also have a great sex life. Women also get grouchy and irritable as they lose their sex hormones. The sex hormones, they have direct effect on the brain. Men and women both need testosterone and estrogen, just at different doses, but they both need testosterone and estrogen. Both of them have an effect on the brain, creating desire, and then they both have an effect on the sexual organs, creating function. So, in my mind, sexual wellness comes down to desire and function. You have to have both. Um, Testosterone in the brain is typically what creates that thirst for sex, that desire, that hunger for sex. Testosterone also has a direct effect on the blood vessels in the penis, allowing the man to have an erection. Testosterone also has a direct effect on the female clitoris, causing enlargement, so it's easier for her to have an orgasm. It makes her more sensitive to sexual activity. As the woman loses her sex hormones in menopause, the lining of the vagina thins and is more easily torn. And then she also loses lubrication. So that means sex becomes a very painful activity. If the vagina is being ripped, that of course is going to be painful. And it's difficult to have a positive sexual experience if it's also painful. That typically doesn't go together. Um, while I'm on the subject of pain, there can be physical pain and there can also be psychological pain. Sometimes it's really difficult to tease that out because the psychological pain can be manifest as a physical experience. So, if that is an issue in your sex life, please go see a physician, a therapist, a counselor, somebody to start working through those problems because sex should not be a painful experience. And I do want my clients to have healthy, positive sexual lives. Going back to uh, stress and improving the relationships, it's important to create a nighttime ritual. What we do in the clinic here, we're experts in helping people find practical, doable solutions that fit into busy lives so that our clients can become healthy and strong. That's what we're known for. So, if you're like the vast majority of my clients, you're doing the best you can in your day-to-day life and you're just trying to make it through the day. So, how do you reformat your evening so that you're more in the mood for a beneficial experience once you hit the covers at nighttime? I want you to think about all 5 of your senses and start to remap your nighttime experience. If you're stressed, you don't have good blood flow to your skin. Your body is shuttling the blood flow to your vital organs and your muscles so that you can run away from the tiger. If your skin's not getting good blood flow, it's less sensitive. So you're not going to be able to appreciate sexual touch, and it's going to make it more difficult for you to be aroused. Along with touch, non-sexual touch is very important. When you come home at the end of the day and you finally see your spouse there in the kitchen, that friendly touch just on the shoulder to, to say, hi, I'm glad to see you again. I'm glad we're finally home. You're important in my life. That non-sexual touch means a lot and will eventually become important in the bedroom. So we've covered the sensation of touch. There's also massage. That's very important in the bedroom. That can be a great way to transition from the stress of your day to re-energizing your relationship. So massage is very important. Bubble bath is another great way to improve the touch in your life. Smell is important. So, of course, you don't want body stench. That's never going to be a turn on. So you want to make sure that you don't have body stench. But scented candles can also be helpful. Cologne can be helpful. Sight. If you're trying to approach your partner and you're covered in stain-filled old ratty sweats, that's not going to work out well. So your physical appearance is important. Not that you have to dress up every single night, but at least have some care into your physical appearance. And also the appearance of your home. Is your bedroom cluttered? It's hard to feel sexy in a cluttered bedroom because it will automatically make your mind start racing about all the things that you need to get done. Candlelight can be very helpful. Turning down bright lights, transitioning into a softer light, mooding, really helps the brain transition from the go, 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 go of the day into rest, relaxation, and bedtime activities. Sound. So you can't go from an explosion, shoot 'em up movie straight into the bedroom. That doesn't work. When you watch those kind of activities, the evening news is typically very stress provoking. So that type of stress, that type of cerebral excitement is going to work against you in the bedroom. Turn that off. And again, the candlelight is helpful. In the bubble bath, going back to smells, maybe some lavender can be helpful. Put some Epsom salts in the bubble bath. That magnesium will soak through your skin and helps to create relaxation. But it also helps because it relaxes your muscles and you have less restless leg syndrome, less muscle spasms during the night. It helps to lower the blood pressure. All of these little things may seem insignificant, but when you put them all together, it really helps to make the whole experience come alive. So we've covered touch, smell, sight, hearing. The last one would be taste. So, there are several different ways to do that. I mean, whether that's chocolate-covered strawberries or just having a good meal, there are a lot of different ways to try and bring taste in if that's something that you think would benefit. But if you've covered touch, sight, scent, hearing, you've covered a lot of bases there. One of the things that people wonder about with our programs is this really for me? Do I have time for this? I'm already feeling maxed out. How can I possibly add on more things to my life? And I think you can see that I'm not looking to add another hour or 2 hours onto your day. I'm looking at how do we take what you already need to get done, revamp it a little so that you've got a better living experience. So you already need to get the dishes done, get the kitchen cleaned up, maybe do that last load of laundry. If you as a couple turn down the lights, light a couple of candles, put some soft music on, and work on cleaning up the kitchen together, work on finishing up that last load of laundry, and then go sit on the sofa, sit out on your back porch, and take 5 to 10 minutes to connect as a couple, as a relationship. If you can make that mental connection before you travel to the bedroom, then you're going to be able to connect better sexually because you've already made the mental connection. that's not adding a lot of time to your evening. You're still getting your household chores done. You're just doing it in a different manner. Instead of having some TV show blaring in the background and bright lights on, and then trying to go from 60 to 0 miles per hour and settle down and go to sleep and possibly have a good sexual experience, that's impossible. So you're still getting stuff done. We're just changing it up a little bit so it's more conducive to improving your sexual life. And that's what we're experts in. That's how we design programs for people. You're still able to accomplish what you need to do in your life. It's just working smarter, working faster. Um, and a lot of times people wonder about, how can I afford this clinic or getting care there, or how much is this going to cost me? Something to that extent. I can tell you that the couples that have come to us have found such great value that they feel like their investment has been well worth it. There's been 3 couples so far that have told us that they were headed for divorce, but now they don't want to be divorced. Their relationship has been rejuvenated because they're able to enjoy life better. So how much would that have cost them to go through a divorce? What does that cost to sell your house at a loss and divide everything up? And you know, that's expensive. We had one couple. She came in and got hormone replacement, and then she said, "My husband needs to come do this." So he came in. They're in their 50s. He came in and did to do hormone replacement, and initially he was furious. And I said, "That's fine. I totally understand. This isn't for everybody. I, you know, no offense taken. I get it. Everything is optional in this clinic." 3 months later, he's calling us up. "I want to come back in. I'm going to give it one more try, and then I'm going to wait to make a decision." Okay, that's fine. And then pretty soon they come in as a couple, and they're laughing and joking and playing around with each other and patting each other on the rear end. They're back to being like teenagers in love. It was so cute to see them. So a month or 2 after that, he sends me this really great email, and he said, "I understand all the health benefits of testosterone, but what you've done for our relationship, I could never repay you for. We had become basically just roommates living together, and now we're back to enjoying our lives and enjoying each other, and our sex life is better than it's ever been. I can never thank you enough." That kind of email makes my day, and that's what we're here to do. Um, I didn't talk about prescriptions. If you're on a prescription, some of those prescriptions, part of the side effect profile will decrease your libido or decrease your function. So if you're concerned about that, if you've got a question, take your prescription list to your pharmacist and have them pull up the side effect profiles. And if there's something that is possibly decreasing your sexual wellness, go back to your physician and see if a different prescription might work out better for you. So some of the big offenders there are going to be birth control pills, the psychotic medications, particularly antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds, antihypertensives, cholesterol medications. Alcohol and marijuana will also be in this category. So if you're struggling with your libido or your sexual function, take a close look at your prescription list and see. Another tip that we use with our clients sometimes is to have them schedule their sexual activity, a sex date, so to speak. And that seems kind of counterintuitive because it seems like it kills spontaneity. So it wouldn't work very well, like it makes it routine. Actually, what we've discovered is the reverse. Because it's a planned event, it takes the pressure off of all the other nights, and it kind of builds up the suspense, and it adds in an element of playfulness because people start to mentally start preparing for that event, and planning for it, and then they start shooting each other quick text messages, looking forward to Friday night, wink, wink, and so it adds an element of playfulness and suspense. And a lot of times that can re energize people's sexual lives. Or sometimes couples have decided that they're not allowed to have sex in the bedroom, because people get into a rut. It's the same routine over and over again. So when couples have decided, okay, we can't have sex in our bedroom, then again, that stimulates creativity. Okay, what other locations can we try? And then they kind of get into that thinking of being teenagers again. Where can they sneak some sex? All of those tools for making sexual time more of a playful and connecting time are very, very valuable. Sometimes reading your partner a racy story can be enough to um, reinvigorate a sex life. So there's a whole bunch of tips and strategies that are available for couples. We also have different prescription remedies that are available here. One of the favorites of the clinic is Scream Cream, which is a cream that women can apply to the clitoris. There's different formulas, so sometimes we have to work through finding the correct recipe for the particular woman. But it's a cream that's applied to the clitoris. It makes the woman more sensitive and makes orgasm easier. So we have quite a few women here at the clinic, couples that really enjoy the benefits of the Scream Cream. I think I've covered quite a lot today. These are the type of practical strategies that I'm looking forward to covering in the webinar. I think that on sexual wellness, I wasn't able to get to the depth that I wanted to for you. So if you are like the other clients that we have in our clinic, meaning that um, you have devoted your time, your energy to your career, your family, your household, and now you're at a place in your life and you're thinking, I want more for myself. I want my energy back. I want my memory back. I want my body shape back, whatever it is, then this webinar is perfect for you. And I am just chomping at the bits to be able to share this information. There will be a follow-up email to this one with another bonus. So look forward to that because it'll be in your email box soon. And again, I'm Dr. Tony Harrison with Incredible Health. I hope this helped today. Make sure you have your pen and paper ready for the webinar because again, I just love sharing information. Have a great day.